Without peace, it will be very difficult to initiate and implement any reform. So, I'll be taking you through the case of Ghana. A stable labor environment forms the basis for growth and progress of any enterprise or state. In Ghana, a lot of resources are invested in achieving a stable labor environment to pave way for the sound implementation of government policies and programs at all levels of the economy. If I may take you through history, since independence, the government of Ghana has employed participatory approach in the determination of its wages and salaries for the public sector. This collaboration with social partners, i.e. governments, organized labor, and employers, has been both tripartisan or bipartisan, and it has guided government to address challenges within the world of work in line with laid down procedures, international labor standards, and good practices. The 1992 Constitution of Ghana, the Labour Act 2003, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission Act 2007, the Labour Regulations 2007, and the National Pensions Act 2008, amongst others, govern wage, salary, and pension administrations in the country. In 2010, government introduced a new pay policy, the single span pay structure, to replace the Ghana Universal Salary structure and other pay policies within the various public sector institutions. This single span pay policy was introduced on the back of labor agitations and disparities within the various pay policies within the public sector. The single span salary structure sought to harmonize the pay policies which were in existence, and this was done in close partnership with labor. So let me say that in Ghana, when you come to the public sector, you don't have a pay structure for the different public sectors. So the health sector do not have their own structure, education do not have a structure. We have a harmonized structure. So when it comes to negotiation, we sit at one table and do one negotiation, and then when we are done, it is applicable to every body within the public sector, except for those that are constitutional bodies, like the judicial service workers, and of course Parliament, because they are more or less independent bodies and therefore do not come under the control of the executive when it comes to the determination of their remuneration. But all others are put in one bracket. That wasn't the case before 2010. And as I said, it was part of a reform that we did. It was to address agitation from parts of labor that complained that they were being unfairly treated and that their counterparts in some other public institutions were receiving higher than them, and therefore there was the need to address that. That's what gave birth to the single span pay policy. We also utilize the collaboration with labor to reform our pension scheme. In Ghana, our pension scheme we have moved away from defined benefit to defined contribution pension scheme. And even that, we have even moved further. What we currently have is a 3-tier pension scheme whereby the nation's social security trust manages a portion of one's pension, and then we have private pension schemes which are sponsored by the various occupational groups. So, for instance, the Ghana Education Service have their own pension schemes, so a portion of it also goes to them. And then we have a third tier where individuals on voluntary basis are encouraged to invest in to enhance their retirement income. Indeed, the first tier, which is a compulsory national pension scheme managed by SNATE, at the end of the day, does monthly remittances to pensioners on monthly basis based on your contributions that you lodge in. And then the second tier also gives the retiree a bulk sum that the person goes home with. And then the third tier, which is purely voluntary, is also given to the retiree based on the contributions and interest earned over a period of time. We were able to arrive at this through the collaboration we had with Labour in the implementation of the new pension scheme. It is important to emphasize that government does not take any policy decision which impacts on Labour unilaterally without the involvement and input of Labour. That is the policy of government, that anything involving Labour, engage them, get their view on it, get their buy-in, and when you have their buy-in, it is easy to implement it. So that has been the position of government. In 2013, the Ghana Public Sector Wage Bill posed serious challenges as a result of rising and unsustainable wage bill, pushing the country into an International Monetary Fund bailout. As part, government had to suspend public sector employment, except for in areas of health and education, within the medium term in order to sustain the economy. This policy decision had huge implications for Labour and the stability of the Labour environment. Regrettably, Labour was largely affected during these reforms as government was compelled to take measures that put the ratio of the public sector wage bill to total revenue in check. In 2011, the wage to revenue was as high as around 70%. But ever since we teamed up with Labour to correct the system, we have been moving down gradually, and per our projection for 2020, we are supposed to end 2020 at 38%. But the West African Monetary Zone target is 35%. So ultimately, that is where we want to be in the coming years. But this, come 2020, we want to end the year at 38%. Learning from the 2013 experience and avoiding similar
nadhani kwamba iwapo kongamano hilo litatimia sawa, bila shaka Wakenya sasa wataanza kupata kujua mshahara wao utakatwa vipi, utakwenda vipi, kuna kudhibiti kuhusiana na swala hili. Kama bila shaka unapata mshahara wako, ujue kwamba kongamano lenyewe linaangazia pakubwa uwepo wa kudhibitiwa kwa mshahara wako, usije ukanyanyaswa. Kubwa zaidi ni kukupatia ufahamu wa kutaka kujua ni nini haswa kuhusiana na masuala ya mshahara. Lakini mpenzi mtazamaji,